geographic isolation. Species cannot mate because of the barrier splitting the location. As you can clearly see, that these two animals cannot reproduce due to the fence blocking their way. Which, you know what, in simple terms, you ain't gonna have me. Habitat isolation. Species are at the same location but occupy different habitats. In this environment of the forest, you can see that very little sunlight reaches the bottom floor due to the high canopy of the tall trees. As you see, this Rebecca Hudiaceus omitis is searching for a resting spot to avoid any predators.
This habitat portrays the desert environment. It lacks water, and this animal is specially suited to survive in this environment, unlike an animal from the rainforest.
As you see, these two aquatic beings are swimming freely due so that they could breathe from the water. These two animals need the wet environment to survive. They do not conserve their water enough to be out of the water much of their life. Behavioral isolation, a difference in courtship of behavior where individuals respond to different calls, songs, and other signals, such as the Rebecca Hudiaceus omitis tries to find her song. And then right next to her, the Carina Akazarian Mafudi tries to see if she can find her call. And again, the Rebecca Hudiaceus, the Mafudi. So you can clearly see that these two birds are not going to have a second date. Mechanical isolation. Genital between species are unsuitable for one another. It's not gonna work. The egg, the sperm, on the great race to fertilize the egg. Go. As you can see by their efforts, they so desperately try to reach the egg to get it fertilized. Oh no, one is dead. Oh, as you've seen right here in this process, gamete isolation. The damage is that the sperm cannot reach or fertilize the egg.
Disruptive selection. A species favors two characteristics instead of one. As you can see here, the bird with the white beak died and did not pass on its characteristics because the two favored were the blue and the green beaks. Directional selection occurs when one characteristic of a species is favored over time. As you can see here, this bird with a blue beak dies and does not carry on its characteristics. Now this bird with the green beak also cannot pass on its genes because it also dies. When nevertheless, the bird with the white beak had favored genes and wins.
Non-random mating, when an animal chooses a mate based on their looks and phenotype.
That guy is cute. He's tall, blonde, and white, and I like that in a guy.
of us.
What's wrong? I have the same color.
No.
This is an example of a sort of mating, which occurs when individuals intermate with those that have the same phenotype with respect to certain characteristics.
Let's go, Kayla.
Bottleneck effect.
I can't fit in there.
Not this one, silly pumpkinhead. The bottleneck effect prevents the majority of phenotypes from participating in the production of the next generation. As you see, these four beings, make it 3, make it 2, oops, they all died. As you can see, the one that second died on the right, died because she had blonde hair and that trait wasn't favored. And the first one that died because she was yellow and that wasn't just going to fit in. But these two lucky winners won because their phenotype was pants.
Adaptive radiation. Many new species evolve from a single ancestor when members of the species become adaptive to different habitats. This is the ancestor species. The blue beak is very large. The green is long and smooth, and the pink is regular.
Artificial selection. When humans tend to take animals or plants and make them into what they would prefer. For example, this tomato. Before it probably was green and sour and not juicy, but because of artificial selection, the tomato is now red and juicy because that's what people like it to be.
Hi, my name's Eggy.
I'm Spermantha.
The sperm and the egg come together and form a zygote. The zygote moves to the ovulation tube. Oh no, what's wrong?
Oh dear!
The zygote dies, and this is called zygote mortality. Scenario 2.
What is that?
Zygote mortality. Scenario 3.
Not again!
Sucker, I got your money.
Allopatria. When animals from the same species are separated by a geographic barrier and evolve due to different habitats. As you can see, these animals are now separated by a street which they cannot cross.
We miss you.
Come back!
Sympatric. When one ancestor reproduces into different species. Take this ancestor. It's like a dinosaur. And it becomes a turtle. And then it becomes human. This is divergent species. Or one species becomes two species. Convergent evolution, when two species becomes one.